Great day, everyone. This is Deloris Williams with Divine Connections. Divine Connections publishes a quarterly magazine that comes out. We promote different businesses, organizations, churches, gospel artists, and a lot of great things going on in the community. And today we want to share some great information with you with my special guest. First of all, if you want to connect with Divine Connections, simply go to our website at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. And you can also follow us on YouTube, The Divine Connections. And you can also connect with us on Facebook, Divine Connections Marketing, as well as Divine Connection Events. Make sure to like our page. And we are also on Instagram at Divine Connections. So be sure to stay connected if you're interested in advertising your business, your church, positive things going on in the community. Please make sure to email me at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com. Our publication is digital as well as hard copy, and it comes out 4 times a year, every quarter. And so today I'm excited because we have a special guest. Um, and she's going to introduce herself, Miss Marsha Sims, and we're going to have great information because she's going to help us while this time is going on and in the future how to get organized. That is a great big thing. Helps your life flow a lot better and helps you with time management. So we're going to go into details. This is what she does as a profession. So we're going to get some insight and some help today and some tips. So welcome, Miss Marsha. How are you?
I am great. How are you? It's so good to be here.
Yes. So tell us where you're from.
I am in Miami, Florida. I've been in
Okay.
Miami for just about forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And tell us the name of your business.
The name of my business is Sort It Out Incorporated.
Lord.
We've been in yes, we've been in business since 1992.
Okay. All right. And so today we're going to talk about getting organized while we're in the shut in, which is actually the best time to do so because a lot of individuals are at home and we
That
definitely need something to do. All right. So go ahead and share some insight of what you do and how we can get better organized.
that is a wonderful question. Thank you. So my business is designed to help people to get themselves organized.
Yes.
I started out as an organizer running all over town, going into people's homes and offices, helping them with filing their papers and organizing their closets and kitchens and drawers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then I moved from that gradually. I mean, it was a long process, but I moved from that to having teams that went to organize people. And then
Mm-hmm.
I moved from that to online. And I actually moved online by accident a long time ago, maybe 14 years ago when it was really new
Yeah.
because we needed a location. I was doing a class where I was training people who wanted to become professional organizers, and we didn't have a location.
Hmm.
And we were in a hotel in Fort Lauderdale, and it had mold, so we had to move. And I moved to a back of a friend's restaurant, and he didn't want us there. And then so I ended up doing and then somebody asked me how could they be in their class? Could they come to Fort Lauderdale once a month? And I thought that's a bit much. And
Mm-hmm.
online had just kind of gotten kicked off. And we did a simultaneous online and local. And after that, I was hooked. We just moved to online. So I started by training people who wanted to be organizers online, but I couldn't figure out how to actually help people online.
Hmm.
But I had been doing it so long, I could help people on the phone because
Okay.
online was still new and you couldn't do the pictures and all the limits and
Yeah.
data and all that. And then I started with just helping people kind of on the phone online. You could call in and we did teleclasses. That's what we called them back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I started with that. And now we've moved fully into online.
Mm.
Now, most of what I do is teach people how to do it themselves.
Okay.
You can spend a whole lot of money bringing
Mm-hmm.
in a team of organizers. It can get extremely expensive and it can take longer than you think it's going to take.
Mm-hmm.
because it's not about the organizer, it's about you. So some people let things go easily, but the people who are my clients don't.
Yeah.
They want to keep everything. And if you're going to keep everything and every single item has a discussion like, oh, this vase was a gift from blah, blah, blah. And like she got it when we went to this. And or, oh, I inherited this from my grandmother who was, I mean, if everything involves a story, it just takes
Yeah.
longer, which
Yeah.
means it costs more. So what I do now is I teach people how to go through their things and how to make decisions because ultimately clutter is postponed decisions.
Yeah.
So I help people make those decisions. And so what I do now is people send me a picture. I do a couple of things, but one of the things is they send me a picture and I look at the picture and I tell them what to do.
Mm-hmm.
They go do it. They send me the interim picture and I tell them how to continue. And
Okay.
then they send me the final picture and it's amazing. You get, I mean, in 2 hours or 2 days, depending on, I mean, if it's a whole garage, you're not going to do that in 2 hours, but like a kitchen or a table or something like that. And I tell them what to do. So it's so much better for them
Yeah.
because if we go in, yeah, it's our job. We're going to clean everything up. It's going to look gorgeous when we leave.
Mm-hmm.
You won't know how we did it and you can't repeat it.
Right.
So what I do now is I actually teach people how to do it themselves.
Okay.
Depending on where they start, that determines how long it'll take.
Awesome. Awesome. So if someone was interested in getting your service, share that information with us, please.
Oh my goodness, I try to be available everywhere.
Okay.
So my website is sortitout.net,
Mm-hmm.
but I also am I just cleaned up my YouTube channel. I had one, but it wasn't cleaned up. It had a whole bunch of stuff on it that had nothing to do with organizing. It had how to make a mask and you know how to grow vegetables. That has nothing to do with it. So we just cleaned up. I have time now. I don't have to organize my house anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm organizing my business. So so the YouTube channel is ready. I'm
Okay.
going to have a Yelp page set up. Right now I have two of them because I didn't know what I was doing, and I set up a whole bunch. So my assistant, he's helping me. He's young. He knows how to do
Right.
do
Right.
stuff. So we're setting. So slowly I'm setting up everything. But right
Okay.
now I have a YouTube channel. On my mailing list, I have time now. So I'm doing little free classes online.
Okay.
So if anybody's interested, just sign up on my website. Plus, I have a free 5 minute daily 5 minute organizing challenge.
Mm.
Anybody in the world can get it. It's totally free. There's no obligation. I'm not selling your name. I'm just trying to help people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning, I didn't know how to organize anything. I
Okay.
had I had three little kids. Everything was a mess. My house was a mess. My
Mm-hmm.
office was a mess. My papers were a mess. My finances were, it was just a disaster. And I really didn't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I found this book called Getting Organized by Stephanie Winston.
Okay.
And I didn't just read it, I inhaled it because
Mm.
I needed to know. And then I found other books, Sidetracked Home Executives, books by who is now my co-author, Sandra Felton, organizers who were around like in the 70s, not in the 70s, in the maybe the late 80s, early 90s, like the old timer organizers.
Mm-hmm.
And I started reading their books and learning how to do it. And so when I finally joined the National Association of Professional Organizers
Okay.
before I knew how to organize anything. I joined it because I thought, here's where the people are who know the answers to what I don't know how to do.
Right.
So I went there to learn. And I did. I learned a lot. And I took a book, like a composition book,
Mm-hmm.
and I would go into like the breakout rooms and the break rooms, and I would say, I'd get an organizer and I'd say, I had all my questions listed out, and I'd say, I have a client who has this problem. How do you do, and I would tell, and they were so nice to me.
Oh.
They were, but there was one thing I didn't know. I
Mm.
didn't know that when I got back to Miami, that they were going to give people my name as an organizer. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to organize. I still didn't know how to organize anything back then. That
Wow.
was in the early 90s, 91, 90, early 92.
All right.
And I went to my very first client because she called me and I kept telling her, no, I can't come. She kept saying, when can you come help me? And I kept giving her excuses. But I didn't know how to organize anything. And finally, she thought that I was rejecting her.
Oh,
She thought that it was about her. She didn't understand it was because I felt that I didn't know.
all right.
So so I finally went. I made up a price, and then I quickly backed it up because I said I can't charge her that because I don't know what I'm doing. So I went to her house, and when she opened the door, tears came to my eyes. It was horrible. It was really horrible. There was like nowhere to sit. She was a hoarder, but I didn't know that word back then. You know, there was nowhere to sit, there was nowhere to eat. She had she put like medicine in the oven because she was afraid she'd lose it because nothing, you couldn't get anything in the file cabinet. I mean, in the medicine cabinet, she had like shoes hanging out the file cabinet. It was ridiculous
Wow.
from my vantage point now. But then all I knew then was it stopped being about trying to be in business. It stopped being about organizing. It was like somebody needs me
Yeah.
and I can help. And even though I didn't really know the answers back then in 1992, I knew all that stuff my mother used to tell me that I never listened to. It didn't work for me, but it worked for her. And so we started by just picking things up off the floor. And what I learned from that, like I learned so much. What I learned is the floor is the largest visual space in a room. And if your house is a mess and you just pick stuff up off the floor, even if you just lift it to the next highest surface, a chair, it looks better, excuse me, looks better, and you feel better because now the largest visual surface is clear. I learned that organizing isn't about so much about stuff. It's about people. It's about why we're doing what we're doing. It's not about the items. And so when people would call me about becoming an organizer, I would say, I can teach anybody how to organize a closet, for example, or a linen closet or a counter.
Right.
But that's not the important thing. The important thing is what happened because organizing a closet for a hoarder is a completely different world to organizing a closet for somebody who's depressed, which is a completely different world from organizing a closet from somebody with a new baby, which is a completely different world from organizing a closet from someone who's a shopaholic. So it's not about the closet, it's about why.
Yeah.
So as I could find out why, I could help people. And I could help people because I really cared. So I could walk in somebody's house and have to step over stuff, but the stuff never bothered me because it's not about the stuff.
That's
It's
good.
about the person. I was in the store one time years ago and I was looking at a magazine. You know, every magazine has something about, every woman's magazine has something about organizing. All of them do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was flipping through a magazine and it hit me that what people don't want, it's not that they want organization. What they want initially is they want surfaces cleared off. If you clear off every surface, your house is going to look beautiful. It's all that stuff piled up over on top of everything that makes it look messy.
Yeah.
So if all you do is clear off surfaces, even if you box everything, I don't recommend it, but even if all you do is box everything up and just sit it to the side,
Yeah.
your house looks neat, just looks like you just moved in, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't look messy. And then you go through the boxes. So what I teach people is go surface by surface by surface. You clear off a surface. Where does it go? It doesn't really matter. You clear off the surface. So one of the biggest questions I get is, where do I put everything? Because everywhere it goes is already full.
Yeah.
Well, the answer is just because where it belongs is already full does not mean it doesn't belong there.
Right.
So, right. So if you say, well, where do I put all of the pillowcases if my linen closet is already full of everything else? Well, that doesn't mean that the pillowcases don't belong there.
Mm-hmm.
It means something else, the wrong thing, is in their home. So so the first thing I really teach people is how to think about your stuff. Every single thing in your home needs a home.
That's good.
Everything. There's no such thing as I'm going to leave it here for now. No, where does it belong?
Right.
Well, if you don't know where it belongs, then make a decision, which comes to my other rule. Clutter is simply postponed decisions.
Mm.
Every, that's all it is. Every single thing that's in the wrong place is there because you haven't made a decision about where it should go. And if you make the decision, then put it there.
Right.
When people say, well, I don't know if I want this or not, fine, that's legitimate. So when you go through things, you for three-dimensional things, you just use what I call yes, no, and maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, right? Yes, I want it and I know where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Put it there. No, I don't want it. It's leaving. It's going to charity. It's going to my Aunt Susan. It's going to the church. It's going wherever it's going, but it's leaving my house.
Right.
Put it in your trunk. So when you're out and about, you can take it there. And then there's maybes. Maybe means either I don't know if I want it or not, which is legit because you can't, depending on how much you have, depends on how much you know
Yeah.
if you want
Yeah.
it or not, right? Or it means I want it, but I don't know where it goes. Those things I tell people box up and put it to the side. And then when you finish the room and the room looks gorgeous, from that vantage point, you can think about it now. It's
Yeah.
easier to make the decisions. So then you open up your maybe boxes and you do yes, no, maybe again. Now you're down to a sixth of what you started with
Mm.
instead of a mountain.
Right. Right.
And that's how we do that. And for papers, I have people divide papers into four for sorting your papers. Like, let's say your desk is piled up, it's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
So you get four, you can use whatever you want. You can use plastic shoe boxes, you can use the lids from banker's boxes, you can use stacking trays. It doesn't matter what you use. Four spots with post-it notes.
Right.
And you label them FASNT. I call it my fast filing system.
Okay.
F F means it needs to be filed away for future reference. It means it came in, I don't know why I left it on the table, or I didn't file it because I'm afraid I'll lose it, but it should be filed. For example, an insurance policy.
Mm.
Hopefully, right, hopefully you will never need your insurance policy. You buy an insurance policy in case something bad happens.
Right.
But if you need it, the day you need it, you need to know where it is. So
Right.
that needs to be, right? That needs to be filed away for future reference. A stands for action. Those are the papers that require action from you. You can't file them because you have to do something with them.
Mm-hmm.
You can't throw them away because you have to do something with them.
Mm-hmm.
For example, a bill you haven't paid yet. Can't file that. You got to do something.
Right.
You know, a note that your child needs you to sign for you to take back to school when we go back to school. Right now, nobody's in school.
Right.
But when that happens,
Right. Right. Right.
where do you put it? It's an action item. You need to do something. You get a notice that your association writes you and says you need to fix your roof, and you have to respond to that.
Yeah.
Where does it go? It's an action item. You can't file it. You can't throw it away. So those are the A's. S means you're going to shred it. And everything does not need to be shredded. A lot of times people shred because there's this idea that the garbage man is going to jump in the garbage can and take your stuff and go sign up for credit cards under your name.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't gonna happen. You're more likely to have, if you're going to have identity theft, it's going to be from putting your credit card somewhere where you don't know the person, in a gas pump, at a hotel, online you're going to buy something. That's mostly where you're going to get identity theft. But people are afraid that the garbage man's going to steal it. I say, okay, if you're going to shred, you need a shred pile, right? And then you decide when you're going to shred. Maybe Thursday when you're watching your favorite TV show. Great time. You're going to be sitting down anyway. You can shred that. So just create a consistent time for shredding, and your shred pile will never get too big. And then T, things that need to go in the trash They should have been in the trash, but you just didn't get around to it.
Yeah.
So FAST. If you divide your papers up like that, you will never have a paper problem because you
Wow.
can handle them. So that's the kind of stuff I teach people. And a lot of times when people come in my programs, they are frustrated, they're embarrassed, they are scared. I've had people who are afraid to let the landlord in because it's so bad they don't want to get evicted. I've had people who tell me, like one lady who's in my program right now, all she wants in life right now is to be able to let her grandson come over. And she's never let her grandson come to her house because it's so bad and she's embarrassed.
Wow.
Or people who are in danger. I've had people who things have fallen on them in their homes because they're stacked up.
Yeah.
So that's that program. And then I have another program that's for anyone. It's just a monthly program. You get a module, you get a handout, and you can work through it on your own. So if you work, a long time ago when people worked, we used to go to work in the old days, you can do that. But now I'm setting up my YouTube channel and I'm so excited about that.
Me too.
So, yeah. And what I'm doing is I'm answering questions. So I did a free Q&A about a week and a half ago that's
Okay.
on the channel. And I have a lot of things that I've recorded, but I never would put my face on it. But I'm changing that now. So I'm
Okay.
putting my face on things now because I know I would never do that before. But now I'm doing it. And so now, so I have some things that will be up there that won't have me. They'll just have before and after pictures running in the background. But then all the new ones will have me. And I'm just answering questions. I have stacks of questions. And so I'm just going to take 3, 4, 5 minutes and have 3, 4, 5 minute videos where I answer people's questions. And anybody who wants to ask me a question, I have a form that I just designed today. So it'll be on there.
Okay.
So yeah, so anybody can ask me a question and I'm happy to answer it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you. And you're going to email me that information. So once I put this information out, that individuals that's interested have questions or maybe even want some of your services can contact you.
Absolutely. And also, I'm open to people calling me.
Yes, he is.
I am just open to that. I mean, first of all, look, right now we all have more time. But outside of that, I'm open to that. I think a lot of times, business people are like, I have to be so far distant from you. And I don't run my business like that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a person, you're a person. If I can help you, why wouldn't I help you?
Awesome.
This is the time in life for us to help each other.
That's right.
And you never know. Sometimes I talk to people, they just call me at random, and they give me an idea that I could use. I mean, we're all in this together.
That's right.
I don't mind. Anybody can call me. I will help you if I can. I mean, I don't want to be abused. I don't want somebody to call
Right.
me, every 15 minutes. I don't want that. But, if you have a question and you want to know, what do I do with the vase that I've had for 15 years that I don't want anymore? I can help you out.
Right. If you would like to, you can go ahead and share your information. So if you want to call or connect with her, go ahead and give them your information, how they can connect with you.
Awesome. Well, okay, let's start with my email. My email is Marsha Sims at sortitout.net. So I'll spell it.
Okay.
Marsha, Marsha, Sims is Sims, all one word, at sort, sortitout.net.
Awesome.
Also, you can find me as Marsha Sims, spelled the same way, at YouTube, because now I have a YouTube channel. So when you see me, I know there's a bunch of Marsha Simses, but I'm the one, the circle tells you can click. So click the circle, well, I'm in the circle, click the circle, and then you'll be on my channel.
Okay.
And please like it and subscribe because I'm trying to get people to subscribe. Right this minute,
Yeah.
I have 29 people subscribed, so you can tell it's brand new.
Okay.
So my goal is 2,000. I want 2,000 people to sign up because then that'll boost me up. And we need to know that we're on the channel.
Yeah.
And then I'm on Instagram. I'm on everything, but it's not all good. But I'm on everything. And then my phone number, if anybody wants to reach out to me, privately, if you have a private question, is area code 305 467 8564. And all they have to do is tell me they saw me on your show, and I'm happy to help out. And I'll tell them everything I know. And I'm going to launch a bunch of new things. Like I'm going to launch free 30-minute consultations with people. I have a whole bunch of stuff
Okay.
on the horizon. I'm just trying to get my social media to look better.
Right.
Because I've been around so long. I've been around since 1992.
Wow.
But I was around before the internet. There was no internet when I started my business.
Wow.
There was no social media when I started my business. So all the new organizers are up on all this social media stuff, and I just have a lot of years of experience. So I'm trying to catch up during the break.
Awesome.
Life break. Yeah.
I have no doubt that you're going to do that. So thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for just having a heart to work with people. Because as you said, even working with organization, and that, I learned a lot today just by listening to you. It's all not about actually the items. It's about the individual and where they are in life,
That's right.
to help better situate them. So that is phenomenal. That is awesome. So thank you for just having a heart to work with people. That's definitely a ministry. That's definitely a ministry.
No doubt about it.
Oh, yes, for sure. So thank you so much, Ms. Sims. Make sure you like her YouTube page that's coming up, and get her information. She'll have a lot more things coming up for you to connect with. And so I'll get her information again, and I'll also post it on social media so you can contact her. So again, thank you, Ms. Sims, for coming on today and sharing the information and the business and the ministry that you have with all of us.
Thank
Again,
you.
you're welcome. Again, you all, this is Deloris Williams of Divine Connections. I enjoy doing what I do, connecting with people, great people making it happen, and that's what it's all about. You can also connect with me on Facebook, Divine Connections Marketing, on Instagram, Divine Connections, on YouTube, The Divine Connections, and the website Divine Connections Marketing, no, DivineConnectionsMagazine.com. So stay connected with all of us. Thank you so much for your time, and make sure to go and like both of our pages and stay connected. You all have a divine connection day. Have a great day, and thank you to my guest, Ms. Sims, for
Thank
coming
you.
on. Yes, have a great
Like
day. Thank you.
you too. Okay.